Hey you, before you do anything else, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell each time we come up with content. Alright, let's go. What's going on, Cowboy Faithful? It's your boy DMV back with another one. And guess what? This is another installment of my Make a Case series, where we're going to discuss who we could pick at these certain picks. And right now we're at number 10. We're not in the second or the third round right now, but we're looking at possible guys that could fall to us where the value actually matches the need. And right now, one of our needs is the cornerback position. We have a couple of guys out there in our secondary at the corner position that will be free agents coming up. So logic tells us we need to go ahead and grab us a young corner. And I think we have about maybe 3 of those guys that are going to be free agents. So maybe we sign one and then we get one of these young guys. So we'll see how that plays out. But at number 10, the value might match the need at the cornerback position depending on how the board goes. So the best 2 corners on the board consensus-wise right now before the Senior Bowl and before all of the workouts are Patrick Surtain Jr. and Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. So you got 2 big guys, 2 big-time guys right here, and we're going to discuss, all right? Let the debate begin. Start with Patrick Surtain II out of Alabama. My man is 6'2", 202 pounds. I'm not sure what he runs in the 40. We don't know any of those type of measurables yet because it's still early. All we really know is that he's one of the top-rated corners in this draft, and I'm going to show you a few clips, and then we'll talk about some of his strengths, some of the things that he does, some of the weaknesses that we've seen, and if it could kind of fit into what the Cowboys do. Some of the things that he does, man, he has great eyes for the position. He does an outstanding job of a guy that can really disguise coverage pre-snap. So that's something that's going to benefit him at the NFL level. He's somebody that wins battles, just not with his hands. He can get his hands on you, but he wins with his feet. So he does a great job of shadowing receivers when they're trying to come out of their breaks or their releases. So he's pretty good at that. My ceiling to him, because I'm going to do a ceiling comparison and then I'm going to do a floor comparison. So my ceiling comparison is Champ Bailey, the way that he plays the position. He's an okay tackler. He's solid. I wouldn't say that he's great, but he's solid, physical, handsy. His floor comparison, where it's probably the worst that he could possibly be, it's probably Rashad Breeland, who's with the Chiefs right now, which he's still a solid player and he's pretty competitive. I think that he's pretty pesky. I like him. Do I think that he's, could he help the Cowboys in their scheme? Well, we know that him and Diggs, worked together in the past, so they could definitely be a tandem that work with the Cowboys. And also keep in mind, he has the NFL pedigree of his father. You know what I mean? His father was an all-pro corner. So, he's not only going to have the knowledge from himself, but he's also, probably already know how to break down these receivers. He's probably been getting this type of work his whole life. So having that type of pedigree definitely matters. And Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech, he's 6'2", 207 pounds, so they're both similar in size. He's somebody that it jumps out at you if you watch his highlights. He's somebody that, has great physical stature, as it shows, and it's going to jump out to you on the tape. He's strong, handsy, very good in the press coverage. He's aggressive. I would consider him a really good tackler. Will be good in the run support. He has pretty good makeup speed. The only knocks that I really have on him is I don't really like how he plays off the ball. He's not somebody that's really good at disguising coverages like I talked about with Surtain. When he's off, he's off. And when he's up, he's up. And maybe that has something to do with the way that Virginia Tech has him. But when he's playing off the ball, he kind of gives up, cushion. So he has to use that athleticism where, I think that his hips and his footwork are a little raw. And he makes up for it with his athleticism. So that's one thing you kind of have to watch out for. My ceiling for him is, because I know he's going to be a good athlete, and I think that, I've heard that he's going to probably run a 4-3, 4-4 type. My ceiling is Byron Jones, and the floor is Mo Claiborne. I only say Mo Claiborne because Mo Claiborne was a hell of an athlete too. But some of the rawness, the tight hips, not as good feet, but you making up with it with your athleticism, that's not going to work in the NFL. Mo Claiborne stayed around for a little bit, but that's just something for you to think about, considering Mo Claiborne was valued just about as high as this as well. Even though, they had draft grades of him out of this world. it was more so due to his athleticism, and that kind of caught up with him. But I think that Caleb Farley could be a really good pro in the right system. Could he do it in Dallas? Possibly. I think that he would take some bumps a little bit early, but I think that he could end up being a solid player. So I guess the question of the hour is, which of these guys would you rather have? And I think it all depends on whether or not you are a ceiling person or floor person, like Vash Lombardi says. That means, like, for ceiling, meaning that they have the potential. Like, are you into their potential of what they can be, or are you into like what's the worst that can happen with these guys? And for me, I am a floor guy. Like, in certain positions, you can, I think that you can afford to, go with ceiling guy if you already have things in place, a system in place. Right now, the way that our defense is constructed, the way that our secondary is, we need more floor guys that are solid. You know what I mean? We don't need any more projects. The funny thing about this matchup right here, though, is I believe that Caleb Farley probably has more upside than Surtain does. It's just that where you value and what we need, and does it fit? Does it fit our scheme? I believe that the ability to disguise coverage, the ability, to win feet matchups, goes to Surtain here. So for me, it's Surtain. But I suggest you guys go out and watch film on yourself, and not just watch highlights, but go ahead and watch who these guys are playing against. Like, for example, I watched maybe three. I watched their highlights, and I also watched 3 tapes from each of them. So there are games where Farley looks exceptional, and then you watch the Notre Dame game, and then you watch, they complete a couple of passes on that are big level plays. And then Surtain, there's not much film out there, but he's in the SEC, so he's getting beat too. So, it just really depends. So let me know what you guys think, man. Are you with Surtain or are you with Farley? Let's go. Peace.